Sorry I'm late, and welcome to the very late night WWE Monday Night Raw review, whatever it is I've called it. It was Raw tied in with Stranger Things, which was extremely cool, so I'll talk about that as well. Just to let you guys know straight off the bat that this will be on YouTube videos, and it will also be on YouTube. Excuse me, it's been a long day, folks. It'll also be on YouTube audio podcasts. So depending on how long I go on for, it will probably be on stream in about maybe midday tomorrow, give or take. Yeah, so I'm going to talk to you about WWE Raw. Totally discombobulated because I've literally just finished watching it, basically. That's what I was messing about doing, getting a thumbnail ready, because I suddenly realised I have no thumbnail. And I've literally just finished watching it. I've made no notes of any kind whatsoever. Hey DT, you're alright? How you doing, mate? Nice to see you. So yeah, this is going to be very much ad-libbed. I have made a few notes here and there. I've got some notes on my word. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I've got some notes on my word. I've got some bits and pieces that I'm going to read off of ye old YouTube if I can actually find it. Yeah, complete and utter chaos. Totally disorganised, but that's how we roll on this bit of the channel, basically. Um, so yeah, it's been a bit of a day, to be honest. I've just gone back to work, like many of you, and I'm trying to get the balance between doing this sort of stuff and going back to the sunken place, or the upside down, as it were, which is quite appropriate given the title of the episode. And yeah, so I'll talk about a few bits and pieces that I'm doing in the next few days, and yeah, let's get into Monday Night Raw, I suppose, and I'll try and calm myself down and like make myself sound like a normal human being. So just bear with me. Yeah, so basically, it was the WWE versus Stranger Things today. I say WWE versus Stranger Things. Me and my lad both got very excited because we all of a sudden saw Stranger Things. For the love of God, by the way, please do not spoil it for me, anyone that's seen it, 'cause me and the wife have not yet seen the last episode, and I will be um, beaten to an inch of my life under penalty of death if should the wife find out about what's happened via a spoiler, especially off my channel. So yes, don't tell me. But yeah, it was quite a cool tie-in, but like because obviously Stranger Things has been like awesome and everyone really likes it and stuff, and we love it in our house. Yeah, thank you, DT. Cheers for that, mate. Yes, we absolutely love Stranger Things in our house. We, me and my lad got really excited about it because obviously you saw like Demogorgons, and they had the set dressed like Stranger Things. They had the bus, the WCK, whatever it is, and all that business. Hey Finn, how you doing, mate? You alright? Hi, son. And we got really excited. We thought to ourselves, oh, they might actually have some people there, like Millie Bobby Brown might be there. I can't remember the name of any of the people in real life, but all the Stranger Things kids, basically. And there weren't any, basically, unfortunately. So basically, they just kept playing the Stranger Things theme and taking you in and out of the bus, and it was kind of like, that's really rubbish, to be completely honest. Look, I wasn't expecting like bloody Vecna or anything to start coming out delivering pile drivers to people and this, that, and the other, but you know, it's kind of like, dude, don't tease us like that. Yes, there we go. Raw was kind of asked. Well, Finn, I'm going to get onto that because, spoiler alert, I was actually quite disappointed in the end because basically I rushed home from work, literally came into the living room, and I was just literally like, put Raw on. So Mrs. and the son were like, oh, go on, Dad, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then son got excited because he was like, is Cody on Raw? And it's like, no, I keep telling you, son, Cody is on SmackDown. Oh, right, fair enough. So he goes wandering off. And then I'm watching it trying to make my notes and everything, trying to watch it because I was really looking forward to this one. If I'm being completely honest, I was thinking about watching it late last night and having 2 hours sleep. I'm extremely glad that I chose to watch it this evening and kept my 7 hours sleep last night because it was. I, I'm not going to say diabolical, but it wasn't up to scratch. It's fair to say, and I think they what's that phrase? Over promised and under delivered is the politest thing I would say. Um, yeah, no, Finn, I completely agree with that. To be honest, look, I think if there'd at least been, I don't know, like if they'd had someone from the show, or if they'd had, I don't know, some wrestler dressed as a demigorgon or something like that, which would have been. Actually, do you know what? I would have lolled at that so much if they'd just had, like, I don't know, like bloody Braun Strowman dressed as a demigorgon or something like that. Then I would have actually found that highly amusing. Another thing that they missed a trick on, by the way, I don't know if anyone else noticed this. Of all the acts, bearing in mind it was Stranger Things, and I know they're on SmackDown, did someone not think to themselves, the Wyatt family would be quite a good tie-in for this sort of thing? Like, no, no one at all, really. So yeah, to be honest, folks, I was more interested in what happened with the Stone Cold Steve Austin interview because I don't know if any of you guys watch Chris Van Vliet. Obviously he's like the superstar interviewer of every like wrestler that you can possibly think of. And he's just done an interview with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now, as most of you know, he's like my favourite wrestler ever of all time. And there's loads of interesting stuff that has come out of that. So Austin was talking about the when he turned heel, and obviously he's mentioned this before, like basically saying to Chris Van Vliet, like, I wish I'd never done that, to be honest. And talking about his match with KO a few years ago, whenever it was, 3, 4 years ago. I don't know if Chris asked him about the one more match thing. I think I've read that he might have done. I mean, I'd like to see Austin back. I mean, certainly it'd be better than him driving over people with with his buggy that he did last year. But yeah, yeah, I probably would have preferred to have seen the Steve Austin thing, to be completely honest. Just very quickly before I go into the comments, I'll just start going through things. So basically, they introduced Cole and Graves came out, and they were like, "Welcome, to Stranger Things Raw," and everyone got really excited and stuff. Then about, like I said, halfway through, people were literally like, "Then there's not going to be any Stranger Things tie-in, is it really? They've literally just made a Stranger Things set with a boss." But yeah, at the start, like the crowd was really hyper. So you had Rhea Ripley, and Io Sky versus the Kabuki Warriors. Really good match. That's probably my favourite match of the night, to be completely honest. Can I just say Kairi Sane again? I know she's not the one out of the four that gets the headlines and stuff. She's, I think if I was to give a category for most improved wrestler of last year, which I didn't think I did as a category on my Substack, I'd probably give it to Kairi Sane. I think she's absolutely brilliant. And I tell you what, the insane elbow, and I know I'll probably get some stick for this. I don't know what it is, but just the way she delivers that, I love that move. Just the way she does it and the impact it has, I think it's really, really good. So shout out to Kyrie. Yeah, match was really good. Four really talented badass women. And in the end, basically Rhea and Io go over. So they're the new tag team champions. Yeah, really good start. And then I think because it started really hyper with the tag team match, and then you had the Netflix tie-in, and then they showed a bit of Strange Things, and then you had Gunther come out. It started off as a really high bar, and then I'm not blaming AJ for this, by the way. I really want to see AJ Styles versus Gunther. I think that'd be really, really good. I think because I'm trying to think how to explain this, to be honest. I like the way that AJ flipped Gunther off and hit him, but I think that could have just done with being a brawl because AJ literally just like flipped the mic in his face and said, "Yeah, I didn't think so." And I know Gunther's meant to look like a chicken shit heel, pardon my language, but it didn't really do that. It just made him look like a bit of a mug, to be honest. And then from that point, I mean, like I said, it's nothing to do with AJ. I thought AJ was really good in it, but I just would have had them had a brawl, to be completely honest. And that's how you build the feud from there. And then you just have Pierce breaking it up in the back, and then basically saying, you two and you two next week, you're going to face each other on Monday Night Raw." I don't know, something along them lines. And I think after that, I'll get onto it in a minute, but I think the show just started going really downhill from that sort of point when it started off really well. That it could have been a really, really good show. That's a disappointing thing, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Let's have a look. The Strange Thing promo was just a money grab. Yeah, completely agree. I hope I win. I hope it win the WWE. Um, Okay, cool. Cheers. Finn, I thought the same about the Stranger Things cast being there because Raw always has subs. Well, to be honest, Finn, that's what I thought as well. I just thought if there's any time for WWE who aren't unknown to have a cash grab with a celebrity, I thought to myself, well, I mean, surely, because I mean, Millie Bobby Brown, for example, she's under contract with Netflix, as far as I'm aware, and I think maybe another one of them might be possibly Finn Wolfhard. I think possibly. I don't know it anyway, but I know Millie definitely is. You would have thought when they were planning something like that out, maybe someone gets in her ear and maybe says, "Can you literally just do that?" And we'll pretend to open a door in the backstage or something like that. I don't know, but like, yeah, I, I don't know. I was just a little bit disappointed. Even like the Duffer Brothers, who were obviously the writers and directors of the show for the most part, I just thought to myself, well, could they just be on it, at least in the crowd or something? But no, there was literally nothing. So, yeah, yeah, I think that added to the disappointment a little bit. But you know, obviously we were there to watch wrestling at the end of the day, so it is what it is. My mum doesn't even like wrestling, but when I told her it was bad and just a money grab, she said the wrestlers should have just dressed up as characters. Well, yeah, because I mean they've done that before in like AEW. Because I remember when it, I remember when I think it was the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, and possibly Hangman when they all dressed up as the Ghostbusters because they had some sort of Ghostbusters tie-in or something like that. I don't know, but like it was literally they all got dressed up as Ghostbusters with like proton packs and stuff like that. Um, yeah, you could have had something like a tag team match or something like that. I don't know, like put them in Hawkins jerseys versus bloody D&D jerseys or something like that, or the Hellfire Club or something along them lines, and have like a tag team match. Maybe I don't know, because I thought Punk's jacket when he faced Bron Breakker was meant to be a homage to like the Hawkins school jackets, but it turns out it was a whole piss take out of Rick and Scott Steiner, which is fair enough. But it's like right, okay, fair enough. So yeah, I did. I don't know. It was a bit it was a bit like a wasted opportunity really, but there we go. Thank you for the hoodie comment by the way, Finn. It's not actually a hoodie, I'm just a very lazy man. I've just literally got an old hoodie and just put a CM Punk t-shirt over the top of it basically. So yeah, that's how you save those dollars. Um was it just me or did the opening tag team match have so many botches and mistakes? Um I didn't I can't remember too many things to be honest. I tell you what did have a maybe not that, but I did think that about the Maxine Dupree match, and I'm going to get onto that in a minute. I don't want to keep having to go at Maxine, but there were a couple of things where I was literally cringing, like she nearly fell off the rope the opposite way round. I don't know if anyone else saw that, but I was just like, oh, good God Almighty. I think Bron, Mr. Frankensteiner, possibly. I was making my notes at the time, and I heard that the crowd were like going, "Oh, you effed up, you effed up." And I think Bron may have slipped on the ropes. I know at the end Punk like tried to hold the belt up. It's not really that funny, but I kind of smirked. He tried to help hold the belt up and it ended up slipping out of his hand, and he ended up running across the ring trying to catch it. Basically, I'm trying to think who I think there might have been some sort of botch in the possibly the Lyra match. I don't know. I don't. Yeah, I know what you mean though, mate. It just seemed very I don't know what the word is, to be honest. Look, I don't want to say disorganised. Looks not the right word. It just seemed very not well put together. I suppose in lieu of actually finding a coherent sentence, it just seemed very loose and a bit disorganised. I don't know. Maybe it was just me, but yeah, I didn't think the first match was too bad, mate. To be completely honest. Yeah, no, I'll take the point. Yeah, there might have been something with Oscar actually. Now I think about it, was there something where she missed a kick or something like that? I don't know, but yeah, like I take the point. It just seemed very, very. The show seemed very put together at the last minute, a la Vince McMahon from back in the day. Is the best way I can describe it. Liv and Lyra was mid. Yeah, to be honest, Finn, I really like Lyra Valkyria. I thought she had a really good year last year, and I think she's one of, in terms of a technical wrestler, I think she is really, really fantastic. I do enjoy her work. Um, I think Lyra and Liv is a match that they could do a hell of a lot better, and I think, obviously, to be fair to Liv Morgan, she's been out for what, 7 or 8 months. Obviously, she is being a bit protective of herself with the injury. That's fully understandable. Lyra may not have. I'm trying to think. Would they have come across each other that often? Possibly not. I don't know if they met in NXT. Maybe. I don't even think. Look, was Liv Morgan in NXT? And I don't know actually, but um, maybe they might not have had that much interaction. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that you've got that, and then obviously you've got Liv Morgan maybe being a bit hesitant with her injury and stuff, which again is perfectly understandable because I mean they've already lost Dominic Mysterio. The last thing they need for Judgment Day at the minute is losing Liv Morgan because I mean JD McDonough's out as well, so I mean they're down to the bare bones in the Judgment Day as it is already. So maybe that's a factor. I don't know. But yeah, I take your point, mate. It could have been a lot better than it was. Maxine Becky was good. Now you see, I thought it was all right. I was. I wouldn't say disappointed because when Maxine first started with Becky Lynch, I've got to be honest, the first couple, the first, like, not the, I think they had the first match that Becky won, and I was literally like cringing. I was just like, oh my good God, this is dreadful. I know Maxine's only just started in the business, and you don't want to be that guy, like being an arsehole and taking the mick out of her and stuff. But there was some things that she was doing, like she was applying the holds like completely the wrong way round and stuff like that, and falling off turnbuckles and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I mean, you've got Lyra Valkyrie, you've got Roxanne Perez, you've got Julia, you've got bloody um, Chelsea Green, you've got someone like Alba Fire, who's I actually think is a really, really good wrestler. To be honest, who's just sat with this lousy gimmick at the moment. You've got Oscar and you've got women like that, and then it's like, why are we pushing Maxine Dupree when she's clearly not ready? I mean, I don't know if it's just me. Like, I don't, it's probably me just being a bit unfair. I don't know, but like, I just thought um, that it was quite poor at the start. But then obviously Maxine gets better, and you've got to give shout out to Becky Lynch. Obviously, she has done a hell of a job with Maxine. Obviously, shout out to Natty Neidhard as well, because obviously she would have done some work with them, with Maxine. To be fair, um, and I enjoyed their last couple of matches, but this one, I don't know. There was the slip on the rope, and I know it's an accident. Anyone can slip on the rope. Like, at the end of the day, I've seen Brian Danielson slip on the rope, and Brian Danielson is pretty much one of the best professional wrestlers of all time. So it can happen to anyone at the end of the day. But it kind of just really took me out of it. The other thing I was going to say, Finn, to be honest, and everyone else, the finish of that match, I'm just like, are you having a laugh? Like, oh, Becky shows her wily veteran instincts. It's like, well, if you look really closely, Maxine, from the level she is, should, and I know it's pro wrestling, you've got to use suspension of disbelief. Maxine could just about see Becky hanging onto the rope. And I'm like, well, will you just break the hold? Why on earth would you let yourself be like I just thought because it just made Maxine. I mean, obviously it's not Maxine Dupree's or her name in real life, which I don't know. It's not her fault. That's the way she's been booked. But I mean, it just makes it just from where they're trying to build her up as this like graduate of the Alpha Academy and like Stu Hart's Dungeon and this, that, and the other, and 99. Oh, it just makes her look bloody stupid, to be honest. So I, I don't know. I just thought it was really, really, really odd way to end it. Again, it's probably just me being an old man shouting at the clouds, mate. I don't know, but I just thought it was written. It was. I just thought it was so poor. There were so many more ways you could have ended that match. And if you've got to cheat, like have a hit, I don't know, have Bex hit her with something when the referee's not looking, just something as basic as that. A pair of brass knuckles would have done just fine, whatever. But like, don't make her look like an idiot. It just made her look like a complete moron, to be honest. But you know, that's just me. Other people might disagree, I'm sure, but I just thought it was really, really poor. Really, really poor finish, to be honest. Um, I don't know if it's just me, but that phase is about love for wrestlers. But I love Gunther's work. Yeah, I love Gunther as well. But I love the way he just when people are like telling him off, he literally just looks at them and just laughs at them, like literally laughing in their faces. I think he's tremendous, absolutely tremendous. Not gonna lie, the show was full of botches. Tag team was messy. Maxine and Becky just out of the chemistry. Yeah, completely agree. Liv and Lyra was perfect. Yeah, I thought it was a good match, but I just thought they could have done a bit better for him, to be honest. And Punk didn't know how to take Braun's moves and almost killed. I enjoyed the finish of Becky Maxine. Well, yeah, each to their own. Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, if you liked it, you liked it. It was just one of these. I just wish they'd had I don't know, had Bex hit her with like I don't know, a loaded bag or something like that. I don't know, but it's just probably just me. Look, I used to watch like finishes like that in the 80s and stuff, so it's probably just an old man shouting at the clouds, mate. Maxine should have kept the belt there. Yeah, I agree. Well, one of the reasons I agree as well is I know Becky's going to be going off doing promotion for like Starfleet Academy and stuff. So maybe she's going to take the belt with her and do a lot of promo stuff while she's doing that for Star Trek and stuff. The other thing is, I don't know if it's just me, and I know Becky's held the women's world title quite a few times now. I don't want to see Becky Lynch with the IC belt. I want to see Becky Lynch against Rhea Ripley. I want to see her against Charlotte again, maybe one last time. And I want to see her. I don't know, someone like Lash Legend for like the WWE women's title or something like that. I don't really want to see with the IC belt, to be honest. I know I understand what they're trying to do. If you give it to Bex, then it gives the next person the rub, supposedly. But I just think she should be WWE champion, or at least going against someone like a Rhea Ripley, or I don't know, like a Tiff Stratton or whoever else, or Stephanie Vicaire. I'd really like to see Vicaire versus Becky Lynch at some point, but no, that's just me. Hey, Africa, how you doing, mate? You all right? Liverpool, Liverpool, Liverpool. Oh God, don't get me started on them. uh, are winning. We are winning against Arsenal. Oh, I hope so. I'm glad you're confident, Africa. I've got to be honest. I am. I'm kind of in. I've been worried about this match for weeks. To be honest, I've been absolutely worried about this match. Not for losing. Like Liverpool. I've seen Liverpool lose hundreds of football matches over the years. Losing doesn't bother me whatsoever. What does bother me is being embarrassed and humiliated in front of the entire country. That's kind of what I want Liverpool to avoid on Thursday. And I know it's setting a really low bar, and it's not really cool when you're a Liverpool fan. But like, I'm not saying I would take a defeat. Don't get me wrong. I want Liverpool to win. I want them to win every single game they play. There is a part of me that if someone could guarantee that we're not going to get completely embarrassed in front of the entire country and lose like 10 or 9-0 or something daft like that, which obviously it won't be that score, obviously, but it, I would prefer that we weren't humiliated in front of the watching world and his wife, ideally, but we'll have to wait and see. I mean, to be honest, with Liverpool's moment, Africa, and as well, Finn, if you look with Liverpool, to be quite honest, it wouldn't actually surprise me if Liverpool did win because I mean, by the way, first people who will end up listening to the podcast tomorrow, I'll get off football in a minute, but you know I end up switching from both codes basically. Um, the thing that annoys me about Liverpool is we've lost to, let's have a think, Crystal Palace, Brentford, now drawn twice against Leeds. Shout out to my hometown. Um, who else have we lost to? I mean, we lost away at Chelsea, but I mean that can happen. We've lost to an appalling, an utterly atrocious Manchester United side. Been beaten 3-0 by Nottingham Forest, and we've lost 4-1 to PSV Eindhoven in one of the most embarrassing performances that I think I've ever seen. Right. Conversely, we have beaten Aston Villa, Arsenal, Real Madrid, and I'm just like, what? Like, even like someone like Brighton, I was worried to death about that, and we basically just controlled the match and pretty much won that. I wouldn't say it won that can't because Brighton were decent, like, but Inter Milan away from home, Inter had not lost in the San Siro for about six, I don't know, 3 or 4 years or something daft like that. We just rock along and get a win. I'm like, how can you possibly lose to Nottingham Forest and bloody beat Inter Milan in the San Siro? I just don't understand at all. So it wouldn't surprise me if Liverpool won, but to be honest, I am not expecting anything out of that match. I hope I'm wrong, but we'll have to wait and see. Give Becky the US title. Yeah, maybe. It honestly would have been better if Maxine did the exact finish to Becky, so Maxine gets put over, but Becky doesn't look so weak. Yeah, yeah, I think so, Finn, to be honest. I think so. Like I said, I just don't see what the point of swapping the belts is to be. My only thing is, I know Becky's got to do promotion for Starfleet, the new Star Trek thing that she's in. And I think it starts next month or something. So you'd imagine she's going to be doing like tours and this, that, and the other. So maybe she's going to combine it with like taking the piss out of Maxine with like the belt and stuff. But there we go. Oh yes, I forgot to answer your thing about that thing as well. No, Chris Jericho last night says coming at the Rumble. I think so. I mean, to be honest, Finn, it is just me being a bit old school. I know there were a lot of younger people, like, so not my age and your age last night when I was going through Reddit and stuff like that, first thing in the morning, who were really, really pissed. Like, I wanted Chris Jericho, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I'd rather Chris Jericho debut at a Royal Rumble or a WrestleMania or a SummerSlam, to be honest, or like the Raw after WrestleMania or something along them lines. One of those main four. Like, I get the Netflix thing now has turned into its own thing. It looks like that's going to be like a big PLE type introduction to the year going forward. Maybe, I don't know, but I'm very old school. Like the first match of the first, I don't know, Raw of the year, as opposed to the Royal Rumble, does not sit right with me for that sort of thing. For a Chris Jericho, who's one of the best wrestlers of all time, needs to be a Rumble, but that's just my opinion. Just rattling through this stuff, and to be honest, folks, it won't take me too long. Um, in the theme of really, well, Stranger Things, pardon the pun, the bit with the Usos, like, what the hell was all that about? It was just literally like, yeah, we won the tag team championships. Yay, look, there's the ring. We're just going to sit in the crowd. Yay, yeet, good night. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, what was the point in that? Like, what? It's literally like, guys, the ring is literally there. You could hit it with a very small stone from there. Why don't you just go and cut a promo in the? I didn't understand that at all. I just thought it was really, really, really odd. Other thing as well, we seem to have just had Dragon Lee and AJ Styles have just gone their separate way because they've lost the belt. And it's like, we're not going to give them a bit more of a separation thing. They're just going to go the separate ways. Okay, it's a bit, again, bit random. It's not really tying up loose ends. I don't know, but like, again, maybe it's just me. I just thought, like, with everything else on Raw last night, it was just very, very, very. I just found it very, very odd, to be honest. Swig of water. The next thing, and I think this is the thing that really annoyed me the whole match. Finn, let me just read your thing. Um, I think Jerry Lawler will be in the Rumble because he recently said he had one last year. WWE can give him the Saudi money. To be honest, but as an Attitude Era fan who has a lot of respect for Jerry, I mean, I used to love his commentary, and I used to watch some of his wrestling as well. That he used to, I've seen. Obviously, I didn't grow up with the Memphis wrestling and the Larry Kaufman stuff that he used to do back in the day, but obviously, I've got a lot of respect for Jerry Lawler because he basically ran the whole Memphis territory. And then came over to WWE. I think he's one of the best colour commentators of all time. Like, he was thoroughly entertaining. I mean, some of the stuff that Jerry Lawler was saying in 1998 and 1999. I mean, obviously, I didn't appreciate the time because a lot of me and the lads would literally get like a 40 pack of beer between like five or six of us, and we'd just raise hell at someone's house watching Raw and like cheering and this, that, and the other. And some of the things that were shouted and some of the phrases that Mr. Lawler used, I'm not sure necessarily would go down in today's world particularly well. But at the time, that's just how the 90s was, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I've heard this about Lawler as well, but like, obviously, being a fan of his, I'm more concerned for his health, and I don't really want to see Jerry Lawler die in the ring, ideally. I mean, we've got away with that literally twice, so if that is a thing, I really hope that they will go ahead and not do that, to be completely honest. But there we go. Raw was just plain and simple crap. Yeah, no, I'd have to agree, mate. And in the spirit of that, the crappiest thing of the night, the Stephanie Vaquer um segment. I mean, I don't I don't have the words. I honestly don't have the words, and I'm pretty much just going to skip over it. It was horrendously, hysterically, completely and utterly stupid, and I'm not going to make any more comments on it. Then we had obviously Ray Mysterio talking to Ray Phoenix. Ray Mysterio talking to Penta, and yeah, that was a thing, I guess. Then he went on to Lyra versus Liv Morgan. Like I said, I didn't mind the match. I thought the match was okay. I just thought, to be honest, because I know how good Lyra Valkyrie is, and I know how good Liv Morgan is. I think if that had been a PLE, I think it would have been a really good match, and I'm sure both women know that they could have done a little. I'm not saying it was awful by any stretch of the imagination. I think if they face each other again in 2 months, it'll be a hell of a lot better. Like I said, I think Lyra Valkyria is going to be a hell of a worker one day. I mean, she's only a young lady at the minute. I want to say Lyra's 20. What is she, 23, 24, maybe 25, something along the lines. She's going to be around for years and years and years. And Liv Morgan is a potentially, and I don't use this lightly, I think Liv Morgan is a generational talent, potentially. She's definitely got that it factor, that's something, um, not what Mrs. Meta accused me of earlier when she was just like, oh yeah, I don't know what, and I was like, oh, I really enjoy her work, and she walks past because obviously Mrs. doesn't know wrestling as well as I do, and she's like, oh, I'm sure you do enjoy her work. I was like, no, love, she seriously, she's old enough to be my bloody daughter, you know what I mean? But like the younger gentleman watching, yeah, I can see, but no, literally, absolutely not. Anyway, um, yeah, and then there was the CM Punk promo before the match, which was also a bit weirdish. When he was just like, I can put the GTS on anyone, and you, and he actually looked at Jackie Redmond and said it. I'm like, do we really want to be putting Jackie Redmond in a GTS? I don't really want to. By the way, look, I don't. I'm not usually one of these sort of blokes, at all. Um, Women can wear what the hell they like. Blokes can wear what the hell they like. Kids can wear what the hell they like. Whoever you are, you can wear what the hell you like. Doesn't bother me. Look, I dress like I do, and I'm like nearly 40, 46, and I still look like I'm like bloody 16, 17 years old. This is just my style. This is what I wear. That's fine. if someone could explain to me, and I did ask the missus earlier, what on earth Jackie Redmond was wearing last night, like it I don't know if anyone else noticed, but when she was doing the interview, it looked like she was wearing, like, you know those people in a department store that you see in like Marks and Spencers. It looked like she was taking the straps off her work suit, but someone called her on the phone halfway through, and then she just forgot it and left them. Like, I'm literally like, what on earth was it? Like I say, I know nothing about women's fashion of any kind whatsoever, but I I don't know. I don't know if it was meant to be a Halloween costume or something along them lines. I don't know. Anyway, look, that has nothing to do with wrestling. I suppose at the end. Oh, let me just read this. Twice Owen was one. Who was the other? Um, oh yeah, I see what you mean, Finn. Yeah, yeah. Well, unfortunately, Finn, I actually saw Owen Hart die, not in real life. In real life, obviously, I wasn't actually there. But like I said, I've told this story before. But when Owen fell from the roof, they'd cut to JR and Jerry Lawler, and I can remember. I don't know if it was Lawler, but you could just see a load of people all of a sudden go, and then you could see Jerry Lawler going, "What was that?" And then they cut very, very quickly to something. You could hear people in the background going, "We've got major, major problem here." And then they basically took JR off the comms, and I think they put some sort of, I think it was a promo for the Godfather or something like that. Because I think he had a match against possibly he may have had the match against Jeff Jarrett or something along them lines. Yeah, that was horrific. It was one of the most horrific things I've ever seen. Look, I loved Owen very, very much. He was he'd Owen Hart would still be wrestling now. I mean, that's the tragic thing. I think he was 33. So you're talking 26 years ago. Yeah, there's still a chance Owen Hart will be wrestling now. And it's, I mean, look, his children growing up with that father obviously is the most important thing. And yeah, it was appalling by the WWE. And um, I don't care how many lawsuits Vince McMahon goes through. At the end of the day, it was his call. There was no need for Owen Hart to it. And look, I know Sting used to do that entrance. Obviously, Shawn Michaels has done it. Loads of wrestlers have done it. Taker's done it. Um, Shawn Michaels has done it a bunch of times. He did it for the WrestleMania thing when they lowered him for the rafters. Excuse me, the rafters. And there's loads of wrestlers that have done it. Like I said, Sting used to do it all the time in WCW. I think Kurt Angle might have done it a couple of times for random reasons. Um, but the whole Blue Blazer thing, it was just basically it was just a way of humiliating Owen Hart after what had happened with the Montreal screw job. And I know I'm going back. I am going back in the day now. Owen at the time was actually doing quite well when they had him come out with the warning sign merch and stuff. They actually had him in the Nation of Domination. He was with The Rock. He was doing really, really well. World title picture. He wasn't as as popular as Austin and stuff like that, but he was always in and around Kane, Taker, Nation of Domination, Hunthurst Helmsley, DX, Stone Cold, and all that. And he was just in a really good place. And then for some reason, like at the back end of '99, Vince sort of stuck this blue blazer gimmick on him, and it's just like, what? Why? I don't. It didn't make any sense at the time. It certainly doesn't make it now. But I just don't know why. All you had to do basically was put him 20 feet above the ring. Which still, don't get me wrong. I mean, obviously, if you fall 20 foot, obviously you're going to know about it. You break your elbow and break your leg. But the most it would have been was leg break. But to put him at that height was utterly and completely reprehensibly stupid. And Um, for Vince McMahon, like I said, never to have apologised about it fully, and I know he doesn't want to because obviously he's got to protect the company, its liability, and all that sort of stuff. I hold Vince McMahon directly responsible for Owen Hart's death, and it's as simple as that. And how the show, I was only a young man at the time, so I carried on watching myself because I just had in my mind, well, I mean, surely the death thing is an angle. That's what everyone. That's what a lot of us thought at the time in the '90s. Because obviously I was drinking, sat there, and I was like, "It's got to be a work, surely." I mean, they're not just going to carry on a program. So I carried on watching it, and obviously we didn't really have the internet at the time. So the next day, I go to work because I used to work in Shrewsbury in the Midlands, and go to work, come back, didn't think anything of it, and then I think it was my mum who was like, Leon, did you know one of your wrestlers had died? And I was like, which wrestler? Because I just thought, well, it's not going to be Owen Hart, 'cause that was a gimmick thing. And then she said Owen Hart, and it actually appeared on our national news, which was, I mean, wrestling was, other than Sky Sports News, it was never covered at all in this country, ever, ever, ever. And I just couldn't believe it. And I was like, well, why the hell did they carry on with the pay per view? And it was just like, oh, well, we would have offended the fans and this, that, and the other. It's like, I'm sure most of the fans, if they knew Owen Hart had died, would have. Yeah, you're going to get some, excuse my language, dickheads who would have been like, I want my money back. Blah, blah, blah. But I mean, you're talking 90% of the people would have, if would have just said, yeah. Anyway, look, I'm beating a dead horse with this, to be honest. But the fact of the matter is, it never should have happened, in my opinion. But yeah, there we go. The honest reason I call you dad is because I haven't had a day whole life. I haven't had a dad my whole life, and we both love wrestling and Liverpool. Oh, thank you, Finn. Cheers, mate. I'm very sorry for that as well. Well, like I said, dude, I did have a dad, but I haven't had a dad now for 30 years. What's it, 28 years? My dad died when I was 17, mate, and it's yeah, it's still pretty shit now, to be honest. But yeah, um, yeah, it is what it is, dude. You know what I mean? I'm through the years, I've just managed to get through it. I guess. Look, I'm more lucky than yourself, and I'm more lucky than my brother. He literally didn't grow up without his dad because his dad died when he was very, very young. So my son's never met my dad. He doesn't have any grandparents or anything like that. So, in fact, no, I told like, but he's got his grandmother and he's got his nan. Excuse me, but yeah, in terms of like a male, he hasn't got like any granddads of any kind whatsoever. So yeah, yeah, life sucks, dude. Life does suck. It really does. Should the show have been cut stopped? Yes, 100%, mate. So, but again, to be honest, Finn, I know obviously you're way, way younger than I am. I don't want to keep saying this is what happened in the '90s, but yeah, this is what the '90s was like. You know what I mean? It was just like it was chaos. Looking back at it, I didn't realise it was chaos at the time, but it was just literally like someone's died. Oh well, crack on. That's how life was. I mean, literally like if that happened now in any entertainment setting, let alone wrestling, if that happened anywhere, if it happened at a football match, well, for obvious reasons, like you get protocols with that sort of thing. If someone has a heart attack in the stadium, whatever, the match is not abandoned, but they stop the match until at least they can get medical people and get the person out of the stadium. But for something like that, I mean, when there's actually been an actual death as part of the entertainment, quote unquote. I mean, yeah, to put it mildly, it should have been stopped. And I didn't realise at the time that the more and more I've grown as an adult, I mean, it was Vince McMahon directly responsible for Owen Hart's death. But that's just my opinion. Oh dear, excuse me. And just to finish off, CM Punk versus Bron Breakker. It, it, it was good. I did enjoy the match. There was something missing from it. I can't put my finger off it. I thought it was really good, but it reminds me a lot of Bret Hart and Stone Cold, which is a really, really random thing to say. But back in the day when Bret and Stone Cold first met, before they had the match at opposite Mania, when Austin was bleeding from his head and this, that, and the other, or that might have been SummerSlam, I forget now. One of the two. Um, they had this first match, I think, at Survivor Series. I'm getting all my dates confused now. They had the first match, which I think was at Survivor Series. I'll say for now, and Brett's actually spoken about it, basically saying it was a good match, but we knew we could do better, and that's what I'd say about Punk and Braun. I thought it was very good. I mean, there was, like I said, I think there might have been a slight foul up with Braun Breaker doing the Frankensteiner, maybe. I don't know because I was desperately trying to make notes before I came on here at the time, so maybe there wasn't. I don't know, but I know there was something or other that happened. Um, yeah, no, it was good. I just think they could have done it a lot better in the match. But it's a good first attempt. I'm not sure. One of the things that took me out of it was I'll turn my laptop off now because I don't need that anymore. I've never seen my dad before. Oh, I'm sorry, Finn, mate. Like I said, heart goes out to you, dude. Yeah, just to break off, Finn. Like I said, I miss me. I miss my dad a lot, but like my well, my wife, for example, never met her dad because her dad basically walked out and left them. Um, and my brother, obviously, his dad, as in my father, basically died when he was 1 year old. So I'm always conscious of like, oh, my dad died. But then there's obviously people like yourselves, there's people like my brother, there's people like my missus. I have friends who never grew up with a father. I have friends that didn't have a mother, and this, that, and the other. And I'm sat there going, oh, I only had my dad for 18 years. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, I still had him for 18 years. You know what I mean? And yeah, yeah, my heart goes out to you, Finn, mate. I wish I could help you with that, dude. It's just, it's just really shit, mate. It is really, really rubbish. It's really, really rubbish. Like I always say, mate, just keep speaking to people about it. Whenever you need to speak to people about it, do. Obviously, you're a young person, so you'll be absolutely fine. But just keep speaking to people about it, Finn, whenever you need to speak to it, because your older father, i.e. me, decided not to speak about these sort of things for 30 years, and then basically, as I'm sure mentioned on these one or two of these shows, I ended up going off work with sickness depression for 6 months. So yeah, um, yeah, no, it's not cool, is it, mate? Is it still? But yeah, dude, my heart goes out to you. So, um, and yeah, folks, to be honest, I think we're pretty much done because, as most of you know, I usually give Raw or SmackDown or AEW a rating, and I'm really sorry. After some really, really good pay per views and some really, really good Dynamite, SmackDowns, and Raws, I'm afraid I'm going to have to give this one. It's going to have to be a C minus. And to be honest, it's quite lucky it's not a D. Um, I'll give it a C minus just because I personally enjoyed the Rhea Ripley match. And I like the Bron Breakker match, and I quite like the Gunther stuff. But overall, I just thought it was quite disappointing. So yeah, I'm going to give Raw this week C minus, and match of the night. I'll just go with the Kabukis versus Rhea and Io Sky just because of the title change, and I just thought it was quite a decent match all in all. But overall, yeah, it was quite disappointing. So yeah. Yeah, anyway, folks, that's about it from me, basically. So I'll just run you through what I'm doing the rest of the week, as I usually do. Again, for first-time listeners, tomorrow, when this comes out as a podcast, if you've not listened to before, watched me before, I do wrestling, but I also do these guys, Liverpool, who I will be covering on Thursday. I'm really looking forward to that one. It's going to be brilliant. What else do I do? Comic Cons, toy hunts, Pride, horror, football stadiums, loads of different things. So if you want to subscribe, subscribe. It's Geek Boy Meta. It's at Ge- I will get this right one day. I've got to get my lad to teach me how to do this, and he's only like 12 years old. It's at Geek Boy Meta 7381. You would think I would know that by now. And yeah, if you want to look at any wrestling stuff, if you just go to Geek Boy Does Wrestling or Geek Boy A Wrestling Story, that's the podcast which this ends up being basically. So, like I said, you can listen to it as an audio, you can just watch it on video, or you can listen to it as an audio while the video is running, or whatever you want to do. It's fine. But yeah, if you go on my wrestling playlist, I've been to WWE Sheffield, WWE Leeds. I've been to both the AW All Ins. I've been to AW Forbidden Door. I've been to Rev Pro Wrestling, which is a UK independent promotion. I'm hoping to go there again actually, in the next couple of months theoretically. There is still an outside chance I might get to WWE, excuse me, next week. I'm one of those Ticketmaster guys. Oh, let me just read that. My dad left when I was weak, so I'm so sorry, Finn, mate. That's awful. That is all. I'm not going to comment on your family, obviously, because it's not my business. But that's, as a father, I don't agree with that sort of thing. But obviously, it's your family, so I don't want to get critical, mate, or anything like that. But yeah, that's it. It's not something that I would have done to my lad. But there we go. But yeah, my heart goes out to you, Finn. It really does, mate. It really does. That's just proper awful, that is. But yeah, always make sure you speak to someone, Finn. Anyway, um, I've completely forgot what I was talking about, folks. Why was I telling you about that for? No, it's completely gone. Um, it was something to do with wrestling, possibly. You would have thought. No, it's gone. It's gone. Anyway, oh yeah, no, I was just talking about the playlist one night. So yeah, if you want to look at any of the wrestling stuff, there's loads of match vlogs. There's loads of WWE toy hunts. There's loads of that's it, Finn. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. That's the one going back to WWE. Yeah, Ticketmaster. So, um, I am one of those sneaky people who keeps an eye on Ticketmaster and various other things right up till the last minute. So I'm gonna try and see, because I'm actually going to see Liverpool next week, and I'm spending 2 days on Merseyside, and then I'm having a night in Manchester as well. I'm gonna see when I'm in Manchester if there's any cheap last minute tickets for WWE in Newcastle, which is a million miles away from where I am. Um, but then I also have to explain to my wife why I've I've just come back from Manchester on the Wednesday, and why I'm then going to Newcastle the day after to watch WWE. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to get away with that one, to be honest. But yeah, I probably won't do it, but I will let you guys know. And obviously, if I do, then there'll be a vlog and the usual stuff that I do. I'm hoping the tickets. I've heard tickets for AEW All In at Wembley Stadium. I've heard they're meant to be in the next 2 weeks. So as soon as they come out, I am buying them basically. And this time I'm not sitting in the rafters. I'm gonna try and find some money from somewhere. And hopefully I don't know about floor seats because they are really, really expensive. But I want to get as close to the ring as humanly possible this time. So I'll let you guys know when I've done that. Yeah, and in terms of the rest of the week, I am. Don't think I'm on tomorrow. I'm on. I'm on Thursday for the wretched Arsenal match. Yay! There is a chance I may watch that in the pub because I'm finishing work late that night, so I might be able to finish and then go and watch it to the second half at some sort of public house somewhere. So yes, I may be doing like a live reaction from Leeds City Centre. I don't. I'll work it out as I go along. Um, Friday I might be on for AEW Dynamite reaction because obviously I can't do the Dynamite reaction because Liverpool are on the Thursday, which is really, really not. It really not helpful at all. Whoever has scheduled this Liverpool match for Thursday. Um, the Friday I will be so Friday possibly AEW. Saturday night I'll be doing the late night SmackDown reaction show. which would be probably about 11 o'clock. Shout out to everyone who watched that the other day. That was really well received and stuff. So cheers for that. Sunday, I might do some sort of like preview of me going to Liverpool, if you see what I mean. About just literally, like, I'll just do like 20 minutes on what I'm going to be doing and so on and so forth. And then basically all day on the Monday, it'll be Liverpool centric. So it'll be I'm getting to Liverpool about midday. I want to say I'm going to try and leave Leeds really really early because I want to try and get to Manchester first because obviously it's next to Liverpool. I'm going to try and go to Athlete's Palace and Forbidden Planet and places like that. Jump back on the train, get to Merseyside, literally get my bag, throw it in the room, get back out, go to Anfield. Um, basically, providing it doesn't get snowed off as well, by the way, because that is another thing that could wreck the entire thing. We don't know what's going to happen at the moment. But yeah, I'm going to get straight to Liverpool. I'll take you guys round the ground literally for I don't know like half an hour or something like that before the match. Then I'll be watching the match, obviously, match day vlog, and then there'll be the usual stuff. So I'll try and post any goals that I can do on the channel while I'm sat at the stadium. But it might have to wait till half time, obviously, and all that. And then I'll do something after the match in and around the stadium. It's usually chaos when people are trying to leave, so that might have to be at the docks because that's near where I'm staying. And then the day after, I'm going to go back to Anfield and do like a live podcasty thing like I'm doing now, just from Liverpool kind of thing. Then I'm going to be going to Forbidden Planet, Worlds Apart, Georgian Quarter, all these different places in Liverpool. And then I'll be completely honest, I'm going to go to the pub for several hours and then I'm going to get the train back home. But I might also go via Manchester and also stop at Manchester, but I haven't told my wife that yet. So, uh, but yeah, no, it should be really, really good, guys. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I haven't actually left Leeds now for what was the last time I left Leeds? Probably about 3 or 4 months. I am due to get out. I need to go and get some peace and quiet and some R&R. So yeah, I'm just really hoping that Liverpool did not lose to Barnsley because I mean that would just sum up my luck at the minute. To be completely honest, so hopefully that's not the case. But there we go. I'll be here first. Oh, cheers, Finn. Thank you very much. Mr. Cole, how you doing, fella? You all right? I love your dedication to your live streams and your channel. I make sure to upload a WDB figure review every Monday without fail. Oh, thank you, mate. That's very, very nice of you, dude. Very, very nice, mate. Cheers. Cheers, Finn. My aunt who went to Anfield to watch Taylor Swift. Did she? Bloody hell, your aunt did well to get tickets for that. Bloody hell. Yeah, me and my brother were wanting to see Dua Lipa. I'll just leave it at that. Actually, I was going to say something then, but no, I did. Yeah, I'll just leave that one where it was. Yeah, no, I don't think we're going to go and see Dua Lipa. In fact, was that last year or was she due this year? I don't know actually. Yeah, it's. I think they've got someone else at Anfield this year. I don't know if it's Bruce Springsteen or someone random like that. I don't know, but they seem to be doing loads and loads of gigs at Anfield at the moment. Um, I mean, I'm giving away my age now, but I mean, if like Limp Bizkit came to Anfield, then that I would go and watch. I know there's a lot of people who don't like Fred Durst and stuff, but I was always a Limp Bizkit guy back in the day, so that I would definitely go and watch. Or someone like, you see, I don't really do music anymore, guys. To be honest, I haven't really got like a, everyone's got like a, oh, this is my band, I want to go and see it, this, that, and the other, blah blah blah. I haven't really got a person now anymore. I mean, I listen to a lot of like house music on like YouTube and stuff like that, like deep dance house and stuff. Funnily enough, my favourite song at the moment is Rhea Ripley's entrance music. Look at My Life, whatever it's called. Is it Demon in Your Dreams? It's called. I think that's probably my favourite song. Actually, I tell a lie. I did like that Young People song, which doesn't help, does it? What the hell was it called? When there were a load of lads and there were what the hell is it called? Oh, $1 Million Baby. Is that what it's called? Million Dollar Baby? Something on them lines? Oh, Finn, do not mention that to me, mate. Literally, my son is obsessed with it. There was someone wearing a shirt. It was Javon Evans, actually. He had a 6'7" shirt. And my son literally spent the rest of my night going, Dad, it's like, what is it, son? Can I please have the Javon Evans shirt? It's like, why? You've only just seen him. And all of a sudden I looked and I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, you've got to be bloody joking me. And I was like, no, you bloody well cannot have the shirt. So, there we go. There we go. But yeah, Mystical, it's been a while, mate. It has been a while. Hope you're all right, mate. She sat in the Kenny Dalglish stand. Oh, dude, what a stand. I sat in there for the Bilbao match. So it was the first match after, obviously, we lost Diogo that we had at Anfield. So it was the under-20s Atletico Bilbao Liverpool game, and then it was like the main Liverpool Bilbao game. So in all, I got to stay at Anfield for, I think it was 6 hours, something along them lines. Saw two football matches for. I'm trying to think how much I paid them actually. I think it was like 23 quid or something like that. Oh, cheers, Finn. Thanks. But yeah, no, that was cool. But yeah, no, I'm thoroughly looking forward to going to see Liverpool play Barnsley. I just really, really hope they do not lose because I could really do without that, to be honest. But I love Merseyside. I love being on Liverpool. So if we do lose, look, there's a lot of stuff that I could be doing in Liverpool anyway. So yeah, there we go. Yeah. I will not be doing that, Phil. I couldn't trust me on that, mate. And yeah, folks, that's about it, to be honest. So I'm going to head off. The only other thing wrestling wise that I need to tell you guys about, and I'll do a bit more build up on this. I will obviously be watching the. Oh yes, no, there is something else actually that reminds me. SmackDown this week, I think, is it's in Germany. I think I might be wrong about this, but I'm fairly sure it's on at about 6 or 7 o'clock. Oh my good God. You can't even say it anything. Literally, like I said to my son earlier, like, oh, right, dude, I'll be back about 6 or 7 o'clock. And straight away he sat there going, 6, 7. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ. I hate all of you. um, oh, is it Belgium, Finn? In fact, I'll tell you what, I've got my Netflix on now, mate. Let me just have a quick look. Um, oh, it's NXT tonight as well. Is it? Oh, I wish I could stay up for it, to be honest. Let me have a look. Ah, here we go. It is. If I can get this to work eventually. Oh, get in. Brilliant. Right. So this weekend is. Yeah, no, it's Berlin, Finn. Um, January the 9th. So Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. Berlin, grueling 3 stages of hell match, and it's on at 7 o'clock at night. That's a hell of a lot better and really good for people like me who do YouTube, which means I can do it at normal times like this, which is awesome. So yeah. Okay, scratch that. There's no AEW review this week. Basically, there'll be a SmackDown one on Friday, so I'm gonna have to adjust some bits and pieces. So yeah, just keep an eye out. Then on January the 16th, SmackDown is on at 8 o'clock, but it doesn't say where. So I'm assuming that might be the Belgian one. In fact, let me just have a look at Monday Night Raw. Um, because I think they're well, obviously, because I know they're coming to England. Um, but I think, if I'm not much mistaken, I think it's Belfast. I think. Let me just have a look. Yeah, I'm just going through my Netflix schedule now, dude. And then, like I said, I'll head off. We have. Oh, that's awesome. That is absolutely brilliant. Nice one. Right, so January the 12th. That's not even funny. That isn't even funny. Dear God. Right. January the 19th, 8 o'clock. Monday Night Raw, which is great. January the 12th, live event, 7 o'clock. Would have been great, except I'm going to be watching Liverpool versus Barnsley at exactly the same time, the one time it's actually bloody. Right then, guys. Well, I can't do two things at once. So the Monday Night Raw. In fact, to tell you what, when I come out of the ground, I'll do you guys a deal. Let us know who's won the matches on the 12th, and I can kind of react to it at Anfield. That would be quite amusing, actually, talking about Monday Night Raw at Anfield. But there we go. But yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, Finn, I know all of those things, mate. I know all of those things, and yes, the Gap thing with Robin from Teen Titans doing Scooty Booty. Yes, my son has taught me all about that. Thank you. Let's have a look. Aries Ahmed, which team you support? Best team in the world, mate. Not at the moment. Show us that jawline. It's a very unshaven jawline, Finn. I did try and shave last night because you might have seen recently I look like bloody Hopper from Stranger Things. And I decided to try and hack it all off my face. And literally, I was there, dude, for you're talking 40 minutes, and I didn't finish. And it got to the stage where I was just like, do you know what? I can't be asked doing the rest of it, so I just gave up. And so basically, I've got like scraggly bits all over my face, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever. But there we go. But yeah, folks, that's pretty much it from me. So thank you everyone for watching. Thank you, Finn, as well, for sticking with me all night and talking to me. It's a pleasure talking to you, young man. And like I said, dude, don't the thing that you were saying, just keep speaking to people about it, Finn. Keep speaking to people, Finn, about it. And I'm always happy to talk to you, dude. Good lad. Um, and yeah, you too, mate. You too. You should look after yourself, mate. Yeah, folks. Thanks everyone for watching. Like I said, this will be out hopefully tomorrow afternoon at some point or other, and I will see you at hopefully around 10:30 on Thursday. I might even be able to do it from like a Weatherspoons. That'd be highly amusing. So there we go. No, that's not a good idea at all, is it? Anyway, yeah. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, Finn. Love to everyone. I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.